That's the position of a man whose wheels are going. He's tired, he's frustrated, he's likely hungry, he's annoyed. As am I. The situation we are currently in is not great. Pause the video for a second. We gotta back up. This is Wayne, my 2022 F-150 XLT, and I bought this truck originally because we needed something to help us with the renovation, something that we could carry full-size sheet goods in. When I got the truck, it was silver, and then I had it wrapped with matte black vinyl by our friends at Buffalo Skins. So I bought this truck originally for construction, and things kind of escalated. I fell in love with camping, and then Wayne just happened to be the perfect truck for a hybrid overlanding / construction rig. Over the summer, I installed a deck drawer system in the back of the truck for storage. Thank you, Deck, for sending this to us. And then I ordered a ton of other things for the truck, working backwards from a camping trip we had planned in the fall. Now, this truck was never meant to be fully built out. We were going to keep it fairly stock, but you know how those types of things goes. It's like a renovation project. It just kept tumbling out of control.
We are removing the tonneau cover so we can make way for the Bedrack, which will then act as a frame that will house our rooftop tent. We're gonna turn your truck into an overlanding rig.
I chose a Bedrack for the back of the truck instead of a camper. I still needed to use the back of the truck for carrying full-size sheet goods for the renovation, also large power tools back and forth to our land while we build out our campsite. Another one?
Threaded collar that is like tack welded onto this bracket, essentially broke off 2 brackets. So not ideal, but
not great first impressions.
No.
The goal with this build is to have a light tent and a Bedrack that we can remove during the wintertime and put that tonneau cover back on. This is a work in progress. Next season, we'll be adding new tires to the truck and then potentially a couple more accessories.
She ain't going anywhere.
The situation we are currently in is not great. So our trip is in less than a week. The Bedrack took 2 weeks longer than it was supposed to getting here. Now we can't get the tent on top of the Bedrack because my truck has 2 antennas on the back. This Bedrack is not high enough to clear those antennas. And so now we're trying to figure out how we can make spacers to go on top of this so that the tent sits high enough to go over the antennas. I feel like this is a red flag for being like, you shouldn't go on this trip. Okay, so the reason why I've got this metal that I'm filing down is because we leave on our trip in 3 days. I need a 3.5-inch tent risers. So there are no outfits in this area that have what I need. The one that's here, that's down in Jamestown, has a bracket that would be perfect, except for the bars on my Bedrack are 3.5 inches wide. The ones that this company has are like made for bars that are 3 inches. So we're basically making a temporary tent riser. We just need something that's gonna work. And at this point, we just need to get out there and camp and kind of make do with what we have. We'll refine this next summer. Right now, I am filing down the edges of all of these pieces of steel, sanding them, cleaning them, and then we're gonna make 4-inch riser. Hopefully be able to get the tent on the Bedrack. Now the Bedrack is rated for 900 pounds. The tent is 80. Perhaps the wrong time of year to be building an overland rig. So we were under a bit of a time crunch with this project. With the delay of the Bedrack, we really only had 5 days to pull this together before our camping trip. First, we didn't realize that we needed tent risers, so then we had to make those from some steel we had cut at a local shop, and then I painted those matte black to match the Bedrack. And then we installed those using the same nut, bolt, and washer system that came with the Bedrack. These fasteners were very difficult to find. They don't actually stock them at Home Depot or Lowe's. So I ended up visiting 4 or 5 local hardware stores, scrounging up what I could find of these fasteners. We're installing the camper, it's raining, we don't have screws that are long enough, and we're not actually gonna get to do a trial run of our setup before we leave. I feel like there's so much stuff that we've gotten thrown at us working on this that's saying, don't go on this trip. Not ideal. For a rooftop tent, we ended up going with the GFC SuperLite, and I want to say huge thanks to Go Fast Campers for sending us this. Really easy to put on and take off with 2 people. And then on the last day, I realized I purchased the wrong length Maxtrax pins, and I actually purchased the long ones instead of the short ones that I was supposed to get. We didn't have time to reorder these, so we just ended up cutting those down with an angle grinder. Definitely recommend buying the correct ones, so probably don't do anything that we're doing in this video. But we just didn't have time, and we wanted to bring the Maxtrax to be able to level the truck while we were camping.
Okay, all right.
Whoa, how is it up there?
Nobody talks about how scary it is. Really cool. I really hope our sleeping pad fits up here.
Moment of truth.
Oh man, I don't know. It's just. Oh!
It just fits.
It's tight. It's a tight fit, but it fits.
My friends over at Luno sent us a bunch of accessories. Actually, I saw one of the reels and I was like, I need everything. So they sent this shoe bag that has magnets. So it will just magnetize there. The dirt can fall at the bottom and then you just throw your shoes in there when you get in the tent. Brilliant, right? Oh yeah.
Comfy? Now, honey, you can't sleep diagonally like that. Like, you can't sleep that's how you normally sleep.
I know, I'm gonna have to sleep nice.
Yeah.
Like this. I have concerns. This is the Exped Mega Mat double long wide. The length is perfect because we're tall people, but the width is just like maybe 2 inches too long and it's touching this. I can already feel this being damp and this probably transferring to the mattress. So that's a little concerning. It's like a water bed because the car rocks a little bit.
You and your fucking alarms.
Because today is a... And with that, it was time to head out on our week-long camping trip without actually giving the setup a trial run at all. I keep hearing this like sound, like every now and then. Not when I push my brakes, just when I'm gassing going uphill. Well, everything's fucking rock solid out there. I can't reproduce the sound. Bedrack was late coming. Got here 2 weeks late because of the shipping. Not realizing we needed tent risers and having to jerry rig that. And then having to do like multiple Home Depot runs and store runs to try to find the screws. I went to 5 different hardware stores to find screws and ultimately ended up having to order them on Amazon, which I should have just done in the first place. It would have saved me a day. Oh, I tried to buy locks for the Max Tracks yesterday. I bought 5 lock sets and 1 worked. So anyway, now the sound is like concerning, but I haven't heard it again, so
You'll be right.
We'll see. Thank you. I love sunrise. It's so pretty. On this trip, we were supposed to be going to New Brunswick, Canada, but there's a massive weather system moving up there for the entire week, and it's forecasting rain and like cold temperatures for the whole week. So if it was summertime, we probably would just go anyway and just hope for the best, but because the temperature is dropping to about 4 degrees Celsius overnight, we just feel like trying to camp in the rain in those temperatures feels a little bit sketchy. Instead, decided to save all of our destinations for New Brunswick for the summertime. Right now, we're driving to New England. Since this is kind of our first time really with a rooftop tent, we're gonna stick to hip campsites. Yeah, it's like Airbnb for campsites. We don't have like BLM land up here. There are some designated campsites and some Forest Service roads up here in National Forest. Yeah, we haven't camped in the tent yet, so we're just gonna stick to 3 campsites that we've booked. At this point, we just need to get out there and use our shit, you know, try to have a fun camping experience before the winter comes. I love this time in the morning, especially in fall, my favorite time of the year.
Spooky season.
Spooky season. Well, okay, we'll fix that after. We've been on the road. No, hang on. I'm so tired right now.